So it's been an hour so that the water has a chance to penetrate through all of the layers. Now here's the part that's really funny. We needed to have all that water penetrate, but now that we're ready for the textile medium step, we want to get rid of all the excess water. So we take a sponge that has been slightly dampened because that will absorb more, and we're going to wipe off all of the excess moisture. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to wipe the table. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to wipe on the back side. Squeeze out my little bit of excess water so my sponge can keep doing its job. And there. Now, it's just me, quirky, but I like to start from the top side. You can start from the bottom side for this next step, but you know, I like color, so I like to see the top side through here. So now we're going to add the textile medium. There are various philosophies as to how much textile medium to use. If anything, I err on the side of not quite enough. But my parents were raised during the Depression. They've passed those frugal values onto me. So why put on so much that I have to wipe off the excess? So I have my little applesauce cup, and I'm going to pour it in. And you'll notice I put in just a very little amount. It's probably not going to be enough, but I'd rather start with a little and add more. So now, this time I use a brush because it's the textile medium. It is acrylic, so it is soap and water wash up. If you remember the old floor waxes that were acrylic, if you got some of that on you, then it would leave an odd discoloration spot. So this can do the same thing. So I do try to be very careful and not go flicking my brush around so that I don't have my textile medium ending up places that I don't expect it. And you just brush it on. I have a tendency to push hard as I do my brush. It's just what I do. You don't really have to. And I was a tad too frugal, so I'm going to add some more textile medium here. We're going to add the textile medium to the front and then to the back. And you're wondering, how am I going to know when there's enough textile medium? And that's a very good question. When you flip it over, if you start to see a little bit of white on your table, then you know that it's starting to penetrate all the way through. If you don't see any white, then it has a thicker piece and it hasn't made it all the way through. Now I do have this feathery edge, so I'm going to take my textile medium all the way out to the edge of my screen. This piece of Silk Fusion did end up a little thicker than I often make it. And you will get silk that will get caught on your face and make you have to blow. So I've gone this direction. And now I'm just doing a press down hard. I pick it up. And yes, you can see that it's a white tablecloth, but you can see that I've got white on here. And as I flip it over, I can also see that I have white showing through here. But I have darker areas here where I'm not seeing the white. So I still need to go back over this side. Not with a lot, but to cover it so that it has that milky white effect. When it comes time to dry, you have options. You can hang it to dry, or you can lay it flat. It all depends on what kind of space you have. If you do lay it flat, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. Some people have devised various systems where they'll have it lifted up on something so the air can circulate from underneath it. This is white on this side. This is white on this side. So this piece is ready to dry. But we have a hint that we've learned over time, At this stage, when it's all done, if you very carefully peel off your top screen, and you have to do it carefully, see how these edges want to grab onto the screen? So very carefully peel off this top layer. Making sure that everything, including your fun stuff. And this is the reason that you want to keep an inch of space all the way around. If you didn't, then it just means these fibers have curled up onto themselves, and you just have to be a little bit more careful when you go to take it off. And I see that piece isn't wanting to stay, so I'm going to just pop it back down there. There. Now, some people choose to just leave the screen off, but I'm usually doing this at shows where I have to be portable, so then I just gently set the screen back on, and that just protects it. There aren't a lot of rules in life that I follow, but one rule that I'm really careful about is keep something under this when you walk through your house to where it is that you're going to have it dry. It doesn't look like there's much here, but if you hold on to it and watch, eventually you're going to see drips come down. I don't want to have to spend my time cleaning the floor, so I always put a tray or leave it on the plastic, put my hands underneath it, and carry it that way where I go to have it dry. So your first piece is done, and now all you have to do is wait for it to dry.